Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Gault. I'm an eminent domain attorney with Bell, Carrington, Price, and Gregg, and I'm here with you this morning for our virtual town hall regarding the State Route 15 widening project. I'd like to thank those of you that are here joining us, and there's a good chance that if you're here with us and you're interested in the information that we're going to present in this town hall, then you've likely already heard about this project. The project has been going on for some time. There have been public meetings and public hearings held even back into 2021. And we're here now in the first part of 2023, and right-of-way acquisition for this project is getting ready to get cranked up. So if you haven't heard from someone with the Georgia Department of Transportation at this point, there's a good chance that regarding this project, you will start to hear from them soon. So let's take a few minutes here at the outset just to talk about the project itself, sort of what it looks like and what you may be able to expect. Currently, State Route 15 is a two-lane road, and the Georgia Department of Transportation proposes to widen SR 15 from 2 lanes to 4 lanes from West Warthen Bypass in Washington County to East Sparta Bypass in Hancock County. The distance of the widening project is going to be about 14 miles, and after the project is completed, you will have 4 12-foot travel lanes, 2 in each direction, and a median in the middle ranging from 4 to 32 feet. You'll also have a 10-foot shoulder on each side with 6.5 feet of that shoulder being paved. And so the Georgia Department of Transportation is proposing this project for a number of reasons. They say that it will improve safety, it will improve sight lines, it will better provide transportation for the industry in this area. And there's no reason to doubt any of that. They've done studies that show that all of these are likely outcomes and will help better improve traffic flow along this corridor. But as with any road project like this, the widening will impact landowners that live along current State Route 15. If you're watching this, there's a good chance that you believe that you will be impacted. Certainly a good chance that you live or work in this area or own property adjacent to State Route 15. And so there are some things that you should be concerned about. In order to widen what is currently a 2-lane road, essentially, naturally, the government, in this case, the Georgia Department of Transportation, will need to acquire property from landowners on either side of State Route 15. How will they do that? Well, essentially, the Georgia Department of Transportation will use their powers of eminent domain. What is eminent domain? Essentially, it refers to the government's ability to take private property from a private property from a private citizen for public purposes. And so the theory behind that is in order for a public purpose to move forward, the government can take private property while paying just compensation in order to make that project happen. And so there are some things that you should be aware of as landowners. There are some rights that you have as landowners. And among the most important of those rights is the right to just compensation in a case like this. What is just compensation? Well, we already mentioned that the government can take property through the theory of eminent domain, but when they do so, they have to pay the landowner fairly and adequately for what they're taking from that landowner. And that includes not only the actual dirt value or the land value, but also any damages that may result to the land that's remaining or to any structures, including a home or a business that may be along the route or involved in the taking through eminent domain. Now, how will this process work? Well, right-of-way acquisition, according to the Georgia Department of Transportation, will kick off sometime in the spring of 2023. We expect March or April. And shortly after that, the right-of-way process will get kicked up. Right-of-way agents or third-party agents acting on behalf of the GDOT will start reaching out to landowners that are impacted. They'll come to you, perhaps set an on-site meeting, reach out through a phone call, or probably initially send a letter to you, letting you know what's going on, that you're impacted, how you're impacted, and basically what. Now, that process can be scary for landowners. Oftentimes, landowners in cases like this don't have any experience in eminent domain. They don't know the terminology, they don't know the process, they don't know the players. And so when you're approached by people, right-of-way agents, appraisers, experts for the government who do this all the time, it can be intimidating. They're going to know the terminology. They know how the process works. And so without someone on your side to help sort of walk you through that and make sure that your rights are protected, you can often be at a disadvantage. And that's sort of where we come in. At Bell Carrington, we have an eminent domain practice that's dedicated to helping landowners in eminent domain matters throughout the Southeast. We have, along with Lindsay Carrington, we have another small team in Georgia who is standing ready to help you, to walk you through this process, to tell you how it may work, and ultimately to help protect your rights throughout this eminent domain project along State Route 15 in Georgia. Many of you may be concerned about, attorney's fees. I know that that's a natural concern oftentimes when people start thinking about calling lawyers, but there are two things that I can assure you about our eminent domain practice at Bell Carrington. The first is that the initial consultation is always free. You can call us or email us. Our contact information will be in the description for this video, and we're always happy to talk to you. We'll have somebody standing by with our in-house software that will allow us to pull up your individual piece of property to tell you how we're able to see that you may be impacted. And we'll find out if you are impacted. There's a chance that you're not, but we'll find out if you are. And if you are, we'll tell you how, and then we'll tell you how we may be able to help. That consultation is always free. There's no cost, no charge. We're happy to speak with you. That's what we enjoy doing. The second thing that I can guarantee you in every case is that we operate on what's known as a contingency fee. And so that essentially means that there's never any out-of-pocket or upfront cost or retainer paid by the client, paid by the landowner in this case. Instead, we operate on a contingency fee basis. And that means that we operate on a percentage of what we're able to help you recover through the just compensation process and through the eminent domain and condemnation process. It's difficult in a forum like this to speak, specifically to each of you. But again, we offer you to reach out to us, to set an initial consultation, to have that first conversation with us one-on-one so that we can really dive in to look at your individual property, to tell you if you're impacted, how we may be able to help. And then after that conversation, we can certainly discuss the fee agreement, the contingency fee representation agreement that we have with our clients one-on-one with you to get into more details and to tell you exactly how that would work. So to wrap up, this is a major project. This is affecting landowners that already, in many cases, live pretty close to the roadway along State Route 15. And the project goes along for quite a good ways, 14 miles through 2 counties in Georgia, and this will impact many landowners. So right-of-way is going to get kicked off soon. Again, March or April, maybe even into May of this year, you will start hearing from representatives from the Georgia Department of Transportation regarding right-of-way acquisition. Don't be intimidated. Make sure that you have someone on your side to help walk you through the process, to explain the process, to explain the terminology, and ultimately to make sure that your rights protected and that you receive what is actually just compensation at the end of the day. Again, Michael Gault, the practice group leader at Bell Carrington, Price and Gregg. I'm happy to speak with you individually and then set you up with our folks that can help you in Georgia. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for joining us this morning.